You know, in sports, we love talking about odds, probabilities, all the crazy what ifs. But what happens when a single match comes along and just wipes the entire slate clean? Well, we're about to dive into this incredible moment in the T20 World Cup where all that chaos was replaced by, believe it or not, perfect simplicity. Let's get into it. So, what did this great reset actually lead to? We ended up with a scenario that honestly you almost never see in a tournament this big, a completely level playing field. Just take a look at this. It's beautiful, right? Four possible finals, and the odds are split perfectly down the middle. It doesn't matter if you think it's going to be South Africa versus India or New Zealand versus England. Every single one of these matchups now has the exact same 1 in 4 shot. It is a perfect statistical dead heat. But here's the thing. This perfect symmetry, it wasn't there for most of the tournament. I mean, not even close, which really makes you wonder, how on earth did we get here?
To really get how big of a deal this is, we gotta rewind the clock a bit. Let's look at the messy, complicated picture of what the odds looked like right before those final four teams were set in stone.
So before that last big Super 8 match, the situation was completely different. It was totally unbalanced. You had your clear favorites, and you had some potential finals that were, let's be honest, pretty much a statistical impossibility. The odds were anything but equal.
Just look at these numbers. An India versus England final, that was the heavy favorite, sitting at almost 19%. But down at the bottom, a New Zealand versus England final was barely a blip on the radar at just over 2%. That's a whole different universe compared to the 25% chance everything has now.
And to put that into perspective, the most likely final matchup was nearly 9 times more probable than the least likely one. This wasn't a wide-open race at all. It was a clear hierarchy with a couple of teams way out in front.
So, what was it? What was the one single event that just threw all those predictions out the window and smashed the reset button on the entire tournament? Yep, it all boiled down to one single match. That final Super 8 game between India and the West Indies, it wasn't just another cricket match. It was the linchpin, the single domino that was about to change everything.
And just like that, the domino fell. India got the win over the West Indies. And with that one result, the semifinal lineup was locked in, and all those old, complicated probabilities were instantly gone, wiped clean.
And it didn't just happen, it happened in spectacular style. India was chasing a huge target of 196, and it was Sanju Samson's incredible, heroic 97 that just dragged them across the finish line. That one performance didn't just win a match, it triggered the entire reset of the tournament. Okay, so with that match in the books, now we get to see the incredible transformation it caused. Let's look at the numbers after this great equalizer. And here it is, the reset in action. Just look at that final column. The 18.8% favorite, boom, 25%. The 14% chance, yep, 25%. And get this, those tiny little long shots at 3.2 and 2.2%, they rocketed all the way up to 25% too. Suddenly, every single path to that final is perfectly equal. So why? Why did one single result create such perfect mathematical harmony? Well, the reason is actually beautifully simple. It all comes down to the pure, basic logic of knockout cricket. Okay, so think about it like this. Once you hit the knockout stage, everything that came before, all the points, the net run rates, all of it, it's out the window. It doesn't matter anymore. You have two semifinals. And in any single game, there are only two outcomes. You win or you lose. So from a probability standpoint, it boils down to a 50-50 shot. And that leads us to this simple bit of math. You've got a 50% chance of a team winning one semi, and you multiply that by the 50% chance of another team winning the other semi. What do you get? 25%. A 1 in 4 shot. It's as clean and straightforward as it gets. All right, so where does this all leave us? Let's move to the final stage and see how this perfectly balanced setup tees up two massive semifinal clashes that are going to decide everything. And this is what it's all come down to. Two monster games. We've got South Africa taking on England and India going up against New Zealand. From this point on, the equation is simple. You win and you're in the final. You lose, you go home. So, just to recap this wild journey, the tournament started as a tangled mess of possibilities with really skewed odds. Then, one single decisive match, India's win over the West Indies, acted like a great equalizer. It simplified everything down to a clean four-way race where every single outcome is just as likely as the next. And so we're left with this one final thrilling question. We've gone from total chaos to perfect balance. From these four equal chances, which two teams are going to seize their moment and forge a path to the T20 World Cup final? All we can do now is watch.